First of all, I'd like to welcome everyone. And what we're going to do today is kind of take a little walk down Microsoft Lane. But before we get started, just a little bit of information on myself. So, Microsoft 365, previously known as Office 365. Same thing, just a different name. These are some of the areas I'm going to try and cover today in the short time we have together. So first of all, what is it? It's a conglomeration of Microsoft's probably most popular apps. When it comes to Microsoft Office, it is the gold standard. But you will need a Microsoft account. And your Microsoft account kind of connects all the information that Microsoft has on you and pulls all that together for you. It also gives you access to various online services. So whether that's Outlook, Office, Skype, OneDrive, Xbox, Bing, Store, Windows, whatever the case may be. It also allows you to use cross-platform devices such as whether it's iOS or Android. It is a subscription service. One of the advantages of that is you always have the most up-to-date versions on your machine. The difference is Office 2019 is sold as a one-time purchase, which means that you only pay the single price, but it's also only installable on a single computer. Then we're also going to get a little bit farther into Office Online. This is a free version of Office. You can access it through a web browser, and all you need to do is sign up for a Microsoft account with a new or existing email address. So what's the pros? All Microsoft 365 plans include up to 1 terabyte of cloud storage. That's about 3,000 images or 1 million documents. Each user can install it on 5 PCs or Macs, 5 tablets, 5 mobile devices. Users can share their subscription with up to 6 family members. Of course, that depends on your subscription plan. Easy user management. You can remove and administer the various Office 365 accounts. You get regular security updates, improvements, and access to the latest features, plus ongoing tech support and security fixes. There's no need to pay upfront. You choose between a monthly or annual payment, and Microsoft tells us that we save money for doing that by the full year, and you do. It basically works out to about a pay for 10 months, get a couple months for free. And you also get free monthly credits to make calls to landline or mobile phones using Skype. So what are the downsides? New changes can be overwhelming, and you could end up paying for features that you don't really use or they're unnecessary. Office 2019. The upside of that is you pay once and you use it forever. In the long run, it will be cheaper to own the license rather than subscribe. Should point out one thing here, that with Office 2019, there are no upgrade plans. So, and they're only supporting the package for 5 years. It's one device per license. So if you have a Mac and a Windows machine at home, you're going to need 2 copies. Limited security updates. Okay. We'll stop. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer what we've gone over so far.
So far, it looks pretty good, Rob.
Okay, great. So what do you get? It comes with just about everything Microsoft makes in their Office world. Primarily Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access and Publisher, PC versions only. I don't like including OneNote in here because OneNote's free. So you get OneNote no matter what. And then of course Outlook. With the subscription comes the other services, Skype, and we mentioned a little bit about the 60 minutes, and I'll get into that a little deeper here. And of course, the extra storage space on OneDrive. There are also cloud-based products. You have Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Forms, which is similar to Google Forms. You have Power Automate and Sway. Sway's kind of an interesting product, and I'm personally just starting to take a look at that. Sway's kind of in my opinion, a cross between PowerPoint and Publisher. It's interesting, that concept. And of course, automatic updates. And of course, we can't forget cost. So, Microsoft 365 basically has 2 subscription packages. The first one is Family. It's $100 per year, essentially. You can add up to or have a total of 6 people on this subscription. They don't have to live in the same house as you. You can share these with whoever you like. Includes 7 premium Office apps, 1 terabyte of OneDrive cloud storage per user, so that works out to a total of 6 terabytes of storage. 60 minutes of Skype calling per month per user. I find this really helpful when I'm traveling, just makes things easier. And no restrictions on installs. You'll see the symbol 555. So each user essentially 5 PCs, 5 Macs, 5 tablets, 5 phones. And and of course it works on Mac OS, Windows, Android, iOS. Then you have the personal account. This is $70 per year. 1 convenient subscription. It's for 1 person. Includes the 7 Office apps. 1 terabyte of cloud storage. 60 minutes of Skype calling per month. And you can install it on up to 5 devices across the 4 major platforms. Office 2019, which is, they term it Home and Student. This is $150. It's a one-time purchase. It includes 3 apps, plus OneNote, so includes Word, Excel, PowerPoint. No additional OneDrive cloud storage. No Skype calling per month. And it's a single install. So either on your Mac or your Windows machine. If you happen to have a desktop and a laptop, you're going to have to pick one. And that's what you're paying for, but it's a one-time fee. We're going to talk a little bit about discounts. I'm going to guess that the majority of the audience are like myself, a little bit getting on in the years, and discounts are just good stuff. So if you are retired military, veteran, disabled vet, or happen to know someone in those categories that has access to any military exchange, you can buy the Military Appreciation Edition. This is the family edition, so it's 6 users, $69 per year. You can also get this for free. Now, if you happen to be registered at your local community college, and you're going to have to check with each community college to see what applies here. Generally speaking, you will need a school email address, and you can get the personal edition, 1 user. So that includes the 7 Office apps, 1 terabyte of cloud storage, and the extra Skype minutes, and for free, as long as you are currently enrolled in that learning institution. All right, we'll take a short pause here, see if we have anything that I need to answer.
I think one question would be, when the 6 people use your Microsoft 365, each of them logs in separately to a different account. Is that correct?
That is correct. Okay. So I'll use my particular circumstance as an example. Okay. I gave 1 account to my son. My son needs to have his own Microsoft account. Therefore, basically what happens is you go into your control panel, your Microsoft 365 control panel, and you say, I want to add this person to my account. It sends him an email. He clicks on it, logs in, and he can now download and install all the applications to his drive or his PC. And he would use the same credentials as far as using OneDrive to get the extra storage, Skype, so forth and so on.
Okay, so that then means that his data that he saves is saved into his OneDrive, and you can't access it.
Totally separate. That's correct.
Okay. Now, one question came up. Somebody has multiple 365 accounts, and when you're working, does that mean you have multiple OneDrives, or will they all connect to the same OneDrive so everything gets saved all the time?
I want to be sure I understand the question. So someone has more than 1 subscription using more than 1 Microsoft account login.
Correct, I guess.
All right. If I have that correct, then I would probably suggest what you do is, and if these are personal accounts, I think you would definitely financially be better off getting a family account. And what you would need to do, of course, is back up all the information on one of those accounts and move it over to the other one. They're not going to cross over.
But if you're logged in, well, I guess the big question would be is when you log into your computer, you're logging in under one Microsoft account. And so whatever account that is, that's where the stuff is being saved just to that account's OneDrive. And if he, yeah, I don't know whether this person has multiple users on their computer, so it does it that way.
Yeah, it's, I mean, but if you're, to me, if you're paying for more than one subscription, you know, even on a personal subscription, cost-wise and feature-wise, you would be better off, I think, with a family subscription.
Mm-hmm. When you talk about the subscriptions, if you have Office 2019 Pro, do you have access to Microsoft 365 as well?
No. If you, Office 365 is literally a standalone subscription. Okay, and so, and I don't think, you know, I could be wrong here, all right? I haven't seen where you can buy Office 2019 Pro. The only product I've seen is Office 2019 Home and Student. Now, there could be some of those packages from, say, on a corporate license. Totally different. But as far as I am aware of, just because you have Office 2019, that doesn't get you the extra storage and the extra perks that come along with the subscription.
I did get a feedback from the one person that his Microsoft 365, he has a corporate subscription and a personal subscription.
Okay, to answer the question, I think the simplest, those two are going to be separate. So the login they would use for the corporate, that data will be kept separate unless you just physically copy it to the other account.
So the other comment was probably saying that means if the Office 2019 is only 5-year support, that means after 2024, it's no good.
Well, it's not that it's no good, it's just you will no longer have support on it, they will no longer be providing updates, patches, so forth and so on.
Is the support level the same between Microsoft 365 and if I just buy Office 2019?
Yes. Well, actually, I think there's some enhanced support features that comes with Office. I'm sorry, with the 365. Because essentially the 2019, it's a single purchase. You know, and as far as Microsoft's done, you know, they're going to roll out updates. So, but anyway, let me get into some of the extras, and then we'll see if some of these questions make themselves a little more clearer.
Good.
You do get things with the subscription that you don't normally get. You won't get with 2019. For instance, there's OneDrive. OneDrive automatically saves a backup copy of your files. The big thing about cloud storage, and just to, I guess, define cloud storage, it's just a hard drive somewhere else, which means that you can access your files from anywhere. You can easily switch between different devices because you don't have to worry about what you currently have on that device if you have everything saved up in the cloud. You can share files with whomever you want, whenever you want. One thing that comes with OneDrive is a personal vault. This is a two-factor authentication that has a time limit on it. So you open it up to put some files in it and you forget about it. At a predetermined amount of time, it will automatically lock itself. There's OneDrive Sync. So you can sync files and folders between your device and the cloud. You get to choose what folders to sync. You can save, use OneDrive as a backup. And when I say backup, I'm talking about your files, not necessarily a complete system backup. Skype minutes, you get 60 minutes per month per user. Skype to Skype calls are always free, but these allow you to call mobile phones and landlines. Landlines in over 60 countries, mobile phones in more than 8 countries. And Skype now has rolled out their new Meet Now video conferencing. It has nothing to do with your subscription. There's certain features that you only get with the subscription. Microsoft Editor, it's available to everyone. But if you have a 365 subscription, then they have access to advanced grammar and style refinements that is only available to those subscribers. This is kind of interesting. It's called monotone pitch and speech. So you can practice a PowerPoint presentation, and PowerPoint will give you tips and things that you might want to change to make your presentation based on your tone and how you're doing your narration. It also comes with PowerPoint Designer, and it just gives you a lot of different ideas and tools when making your PowerPoint slides. This one I think is kind of cool. It's a dynamic template for Excel. For many of you, you will remember Microsoft Money. This is kind of a quicken replacement that it will go out. You can connect it to your various accounts, whether your bank accounts, checking, savings, stock, whatever the case may be, and it will on a recurring basis go out and update that information, and it provides you a lot of useful tools on tracking your finances. Okay. So, do we have anything on OneDrive that we need to cover, or?
Well, I think so. In terms of the way Microsoft 365 works, are the programs themselves downloaded to your computer?
Yes.
And when you save files, where are they saved? Go ahead.
You get to choose. Okay, if you've set up OneDrive Sync to where you're constantly syncing your files back and forth, it pretty much does that automatically depending on what folders you have set up to synchronize. The other option is when you set up OneDrive on your machine, you can designate, it will set up an actual OneDrive folder. And you can save it there, and so the next time you're connected, it will update those. And the other way, of course, is you can just go onto the web into OneDrive and upload files. So there's different ways that you can, set your own particular machine up. And a lot of it, I think it depends on most people's comfort level.
I think that also answered the second half of the question, was about what happens when you're not online and you're doing work.
Right. I mean, the only, let me see, let me put this as clearly as I can. The subscription, you're getting an annual subscription. You can download, you basically download and install those applications. No difference than going out and buying it. Now, where's the advantage here? I'll tell you from my point of view, I have a lot of computers. Okay, so for me to have to go out and purchase a full version of Office for every machine that I have, that's not cost effective for me. So this becomes a lot more cost effective. On the other hand, if you only have one machine at home, or maybe two machines, buying a single copy of Microsoft Office may be more cost effective for you. So there's that piece as well. Okay. We're going to take a look at Microsoft Online. Microsoft released this right after Google, of course, released their online versions of their apps. You can go up to, and I believe if you just go to live.com, you can access all this. They're completely free to use. Word, Excel, PowerPoint, of course, OneNote's always free. You can access Wave, Outlook, OneDrive. You will need, of course, a Microsoft account. Advantages of Office Online, it's free. It's really easy to share stuff. You can access it from anywhere. And one of the things that I like about OneDrive and it's not just OneDrive, it's just about most cloud storage services work this way. It has an autosave. So you can be working on something online, which comes in kind of handy if you're using, say, a computer that doesn't belong to you. And it will automatically save your work at different intervals. Supports PDF, which is true, I think, on whether it's the online version, the 365 version, or the standalone version. You can save, of course, save files as PDF. And I've had some success with opening PDFs, say into Word. Sometimes there's some formatting issues. And of course, because it's an online version, it works from any device. Android, Windows, Mac, iOS, Linux, whatever your favorite flavor is. Downside, there's limited functionality. I mean, you're not getting it's not the full version of Word or any of these applications. But if all you're looking for is a quick word processor, or going to set up a quick spreadsheet, they work just fine. And of course, they're basically the same layout that you're accustomed to on their installed versions. As I said, limited file support. They only handle a certain number of files. And if you're dealing with older Office files, they will have to be converted. So if you have some .doc files, those will need to get converted to .docx. Okay, where are we at on questions?
Okay, my one question is, when you just asked about the conversion, so you have to then open up your doc file in a program that will resave it as a docx file then.
Well, actually, it'll do that when you try to upload it. It'll convert it to the .docx.
A person had a question about the security using money with the Excel program.
I'm not sure I can answer that. I'm not, I haven't really used that template. I'm going to give it a shot and see how it works. Security is always a big issue for me, but I'm not sure it's any worse. Basically the data you're getting is coming from your bank. So you are logging into your account using your bank security to extract the information. But as I see this, it's about the same as going to your bank's website and say downloading your bank's information in an Excel file. Once it's on your machine, the actual security risk has probably been minimized.
Do you know whether or not a lot of people are using OneNote?
I can't tell you about how many people. I personally use it quite a bit. In fact, I use it as a backup for my passwords. Because I also use a password manager, but I have my passwords, a copy of my passwords in OneNote, because I can literally get to it from any place on any device and no matter what I'm using. But as far as how many people, who knows?
Okay. Is there any conflicts between using OneDrive and Carbonite?
As far as conflicts, I guess I'm not sure. There's no conflicts. Keep in mind, because they're kind of two different animals. What OneDrive is going to do is back up your files. Okay. Carbonite, I believe, is more of a system solution. People used to worry about doing system backups, and this was back in the days when we had tape drives, so forth and so on, because it was the only place our files were stored. And we were concerned about, well, what if Windows crashes or whatever, and I have to reload Windows? What happens to all my photos, my documents? Well, most experts will tell you, or security experts in technology field, you should have 3 copies of everything. Now, and that can be on your machine, it can be on a portable hard drive, it can be in the cloud, it can be on a DVD that you put into a safe. That's the recommendation out there. So however you do that and whatever means you are comfortable with, but you can use both OneDrive and Carbonite together.
Because I think you said that the folder on OneDrive is on your computer and then it syncs up to
Exactly.
OneDrive, so that it's backing up your OneDrive folder, and then you have it in two places.
Yeah, I mean, you can use Carbonite. It's going to back it up. So you're going to have a copy of your OneDrive folder in your Carbonite backup. You'll be up on OneDrive, be on your local machine, so.
Here's a good technical question for you. Somebody wants to know that can you import a PST file that you have on your PC up to the online version of Outlook?
I'm going to highly doubtful. I don't know for a fact. To me, I haven't used PST files in so long because I don't have an email client installed on my machine. I strictly use webmail. But I'm gonna say that because of that, I don't believe any webmail clients will deal with a .pst file.
I think we're all caught up.
All right. Well, we're almost coming to the end here. So here's some resources. If you're looking to learn more about using these various applications, because let's face it, 60 minutes, no one's going to teach you how to use Word in 60 minutes. I highly recommend this site. The site is run by Goodwill. These are all free online tutorials. And this is kind of my go-to site when I'm looking to learn something. And they have tutorials ranging from how to do simple math on we go. But there's a lot of technology tutorials up there, and I encourage you to check it out. This is my website. Feel free to, and what it is these are just articles that I come across on a weekly basis. I put up there. I also run an email list, and if you want to find out what the latest articles I'm coming across, by all means, sign up. Don't sign up. But my focus tends to be on articles that will help seniors, or as my website says, technology for the age challenged. And I think we're done. And if we got any more questions or anything we want to discuss, I'm happy to address it.
Okay. And I'll let everybody know that your presentation slides will go up on our website so they can come back and find those links. They don't have to be racing to write them down now, but they can find them back then there.
Exactly. In fact, I sent those to Judy this morning at 0:00.
Okay, good. If there are any other questions that you would like to ask Rob, you can do that.
Yeah, and I'll just follow up with I highly encourage people to check out using webmail. I've just gotten away, my personal taste, I've gotten away from using a installed email client, and I find it extremely convenient not to have to worry about what device I'm on to get my email. I mean, otherwise I'd have to wait to be able to read all that spam that I get.